Thing flew pretty nice.
Flown once again by Dan McCue. Carrier-based aircraft, first entered service back in 1942. Although designed as a carrier fighter, the initial operation from carrier decks proved to be troublesome. This factor, together with poor visibility over the long nose, gave it a couple of nicknames: the hose nose, and making landings on the air carrier difficult. They called it the ensign eliminator as well. Beautiful Corsair, the bent wing. The Japanese were deathly afraid of this aircraft. It has inlets in the leading edge of the wing for cooling, and in a high-speed dive. And he is an ICAS, or an International Council of Airshows, ACE Competency Examiner. And that means that he watches other aerobatic performers and can grant them authority to do aerobatics at air shows. From the right, the Navy F4U Corsair. Straight into the Cuban 8 maneuver. Another popular names: the Sweetheart of the Marianas, the Angel of Okinawa. And as I told you, some of the troops called it the ensign eliminator. Required a lot more flight hours than other aircraft. You'll notice that the aircraft has what we call a bent wing or gold wing on it. The reason for this was that to come aboard the boat, the aircraft carrier requires a very, very sturdy landing gear. Well, the Corsair has a 13-foot diameter prop out in front of it. So with a 13-foot diameter prop, they had to make room to clear the deck, but they couldn't put a spindly, lightweight landing gear on it, or it would collapse during the hard landings aboard the aircraft carrier. So they gulled the wings, built up a heavy-duty landing gear, and that allowed that big 13-foot diameter propeller to clear the decks and allowed for the rugged landings that are required aboard the carriers. You'll see the Hornet a little bit later on today as he executes a touch-and-go landing here, that on landing aboard the boat, there is no flare in the aircraft. They simply just fly it right on. In from the left now, the beautiful F4U Corsair. Also in our audience today is Captain John Dearborn, a 90-year-old also from Deerfield, Massachusetts. He has over 1,000 flying hours in the Corsair, served in World War II from 1942 to 1946. Also flew the Marine TBF torpedo bomber aircraft. And toward the end of the war, he was land-based at Saipan at Markey Point. Beautiful execution of the ability of the F4U Corsair. Built by Vought, they could not produce all of the aircraft that the Navy wanted, so they subcontracted out to General Motors, and it became the FG-1D Corsair. There's Dan pulling the nose up. Nice little barrel roll out there. Corsair served with the United States Navy, the Marines, the Royal Navy's Fleet Air Arm, and the Royal New Zealand Air Force, and later the French Aeronaviade, and became the most capable carrier-based fighter bomber of the war. Dan is also carrying an extra fuel tank, and you might check out that little white hump on the wing. That is a radome used in the early stages aboard the Corsair. Little 8-point hesitation roll. You can see that device sticking out from the right wing. This is an F4U F4U-5NL Corsair. All right, now Dan McCue setting up for a photo pass for you. Give you an opportunity to give you a top plan form view of this beautiful airplane. Over 60 years old. Over your right shoulder now. And as Dan goes to orbit on behalf of the Commander Strike Fighter Wing Atlantic and the Commanding Officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 106, we're proud to present the FA-18 Hornet demonstration for 2011. The FA-18 is a frontline combat aircraft that deploys from the decks of U.S. aircraft carriers worldwide. The Hornet is a versatile multi-role aircraft which was designed to excel in both the fighter and the strike mission. Today's flight demonstration is flown